My question is, why can't people wake up and see a lie is a lie, a lie is a lie? They can. It's like they want to go along with a lie. Like, for example, belief in religious people. They don't want to. They want to. It's like people want to be lied to, and they want to follow. Now, y'all know there's a difference between religion and your culture, right? The Bible's a culture. It's a biblical culture. But religion and biblical culture, the Bible, it's a history book. The Bible's a history book. Now, there's a difference between the history book called the Bible and religion. Religion was given to us by the European, the slave masters. There's a difference. Religion came through the white man. God gave us biblical culture, not a religion. Now, everybody wants to follow Christianity is nothing but white supremacy, religion, and all those things. We've been taught a lot of lies about the biblical history of the Bible. We was told, for example, that God loves everybody. The Bible is a universal book, which is not. It's not a universal book because it's on that book. The Bible is only talking about one specific group of people, and that's the Negroes. It's not dealing with any other nation. I think that's Isaiah 40 and 41, something like that, somewhere in there. He said he's not dealt so with any nation, but as for his judgment, they have not known them. Talking about the other nation, but in the same breath, if you look at Psalms 148, verse 19, it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Now that's going into also talking about the other nations. He didn't give the other nations the laws. How do I know that? You backed it up with Romans chapter 9 and verse 4. He says, the laws, he only gave the laws and to one nation of Israel. And the only one people that he adopted as his sons and daughters was the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because he said, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So, in other words, what that means is, if you didn't come from the seed of Isaac, that makes you a child of the flesh, which means you're not a child of God. That goes for, if we're not found to be an Israelite, then we are the child, we're not the seed of Abraham, we are the seed of Ishmael and all them other ones, which are not Jews. Now that's the truth. It's a hardcore thing to say, but it's real talk. If you look at John 3:16, a lot of people over the years, millions of people in Christian churches, they use that text to try to justify that it's talking about the whole anybody. But if you look at John 3:16 and compare it to Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17, it says, Israel shall be saved in the Lord. It didn't say every nation shall be saved. No, it just said Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye should not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That world without end, it's only talking about the Negroes, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So anybody else try to push that doctrine, if anybody else try to push the doctrine that everybody is included in that in that covenant, you know what I mean? And they'll try to say, well, that was the old covenant. We living on the new covenant. No, the old covenant is nothing but the old covenant is the new covenant, and the new covenant is the old covenant. That's it. That's all. It's the same thing. Now, when they say God's law is done away with, they say that too. No. He says until all be fulfilled. So everything in the law and the prophets has not been fulfilled. So how can God's law be done away with according to Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17? He said, think not that I come to destroy the law. So man will come along and tell you, you don't have to keep the law no more. So that's another lie we've been taught, along with saying that everybody is grafted in there. They'll talk, they don't take time to break down the Gentile, the word Gentile is mentioned several different times because there are two different types of Gentiles in the Bible. There's the Israelite Gentiles who went off and they was called Gentile because they was doing wrong, committing adultery, and all these different things. Those were Israelites, but they was in a Gentile state of mind, meaning that they was doing the things what the other nations were doing, and because of that, they was called these names and bywords outside of their God-given nationality. You see what I'm saying? But the other type of Gentile is those who are the children of the flesh, who were not born a natural Jew, but they was born a natural Gentile. Gentiles would be like the other nations, like the nations of people that came out of Ishmael. You see what I'm saying? Ishmael and all would be probably the Iranian, the Arabs and stuff. That's who created the Nation of Islam. And that's where the Quran come from, because Quran, the word Quran just simply means to recite. They recited things from the Quran and took from the Quran, they recited things out the Bible and took it out of the Bible and made it a Quran. That's why they call it to recite. You see what I'm saying? So on that note, I'm gonna see y'all later and I'll be back. I think this is a nice breakdown. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see how it sounds and so on and so forth, and then I'm gonna see y'all later. All right, much love to my people of color, the Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. Shalom.